one of the things that I've learned as a person who has many children in my family is that when a child trips and fall, the first thing they will do is turn around and look at the closest adult or big person around them to see how they should respond. And I learned to respond like, oh, look at you, you're okay. If you panic, if you have a look of panic on your face and you disappointed or something, then they'll start busting out crying. They're going off of your cues. And that's you like teaching them like the false ego of being so attached to things, and this means this and this means this. Messing up and failing is, it's completely like there is no failure, there is only growth. I've also noticed like a lot of people like talk in this very like, this is good, this is bad, this is healthy, this is unhealthy kind of way. Well, it's based off of your perception. As I've said many times before about like sending love into everything you eat and telling the water, I'm grateful for you, I love you, that water absorbs it. It's the same thing with everything. If you keep eating food and you're like, oh, this is so unhealthy for me, this is so bad for me, I shouldn't be eating this, you're sending all of that energy into the food. The environment that we have all created is a result of our consciousness, is a result of our beliefs. That's true. That's scientific fact. Not that we need science, but it's true. You can go look it up, right? It's a result of our consciousness and what we think and believe. So on the bright side of that, if that's true, then we can easily change the vibration of anything that we consume and that we eat. It's all based on your belief and also your own personal needs. And like I've said before, I guess just to circle back to what I was saying about like blessed Gaia and like this fear of like, I don't know, things not being, just these little fears. You have to widen your perception. Like I said before, it's not going to be this perfect la la land, but because we no longer have so many blockages, so much like cyclic stuff, curses from our ancestors and, you know, karma and stuff, like you take all that away, like what do you have? You just have this very pure soul, and this pure soul, like maybe they build something and it ends up exploding and like, I don't know, putting purple polish on like all the houses, and like everybody comes outside and they're like, you know, and, like how do you react to that when you're in a space of everything is a chance for me to grow, everything is a chance for me to learn, everything is a magical experience that I've been blessed with? Then what is that purple polish on everything? Is it the thing that ruins your day, or is it the thing that makes your day? And you can hear like the motorcycle from the outside like coming in to confirm that message with 311. So now I have these tarot cards to get some messages. These three were very stubborn. I tried to put them back in the deck because they just fell out when I opened the box. I was like, no, I'm gonna shuffle. And they would not go when I was trying to put them back in. So we have Justice, we have the Queen of Cups, and we have the Chariot. These are all major arcana and a queen, so high level stuff. I don't really know what to say. I just feel like this is very clear. Divine justice has arrived. It is here. If you want to go watch my Why Are You Here video, I talk about how on Father's Day, and that was the day with the DNA strands and the Schumann resonance, that the divine masculines were making different decisions. They weren't going to repeat the same cycle over and over. The curse is broken, the spell is lifted, and I feel like this is them bringing in divine justice, and also just not referring to like masculine people. The divine masculine within all of us are making different decisions because we're out of the closed loop cycle. We open like a blooming flower. Then we have the Queen of Cups. Justice was upset that I threw them down. So we have the Queen of Cups, and this is just emotional fulfillment, being very vulnerable and sharing all parts of yourself. This is something that I talked about in a short video that I made recently about how your anger is showing you something. Be grateful and observant and value all of your emotions, because they're all gold. They're all telling you something. Excuse me. You have to, your emotions are, I feel like, your best instincts. How you feel about something, how you react to something is showing you something. Sometimes if you react in a fearful way, it's not always because what you're perceiving is actually dangerous. So in that situation, it's helping you to see, I have this thing, I have this trigger, or I have this area where when this happens to me, when I'm presented with this, I'm reacting in this way, even though there is no danger near me. So now what can I do to like heal that? Or like, now I know I can just brush it off, or now I can move on from this. It's showing you something. And I feel, especially now, if you're experiencing any frustration, it's freeing you, because it's showing you where all the little hidden little pockets are, and it's freeing you from that, from being stuck in those, I guess, repetitive scenarios. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna talk on that. Okay, next we have the Chariot. So this is fast-paced change. I think I'm gonna touch on it now. I think like the material that I've been being shown has been triggering me on purpose so that I can like come on here and have these conversations. But I've been really annoyed. I feel like that's okay, because I respect all of these people, with people saying these things about like time and how long this is gonna take, and this is gonna last for 6 months, your next 3 months, your next 4 months. I don't like doing videos like that, which is why I don't do videos like that, because it encourages people to be in a state of waiting. It encourages people to think like, okay, right now I'll do nothing, and right now I'm not gonna be happy, so I just need to wait until this moon eclipses this in 3 months from now, and then on that date I'll be great. And that's just a terrible way to live. I feel like that's a terrible thing to do, to encourage people to like live like that. But you know, I don't think that's the people's intention to do that. You know, it's, you have to think about what they're intending to do. But I feel like that's something that Spirit wants me to highlight with this Chariot. Make sure that you're being your own boss when it comes to what you decide is allowed to happen. If you keep thinking, I'm not allowed to be abundant until 3 weeks from now, or in 2 years when this happens, then I'll be ready to be abundant, then I'll be ready for my fairy tale life. No. This is happening actually, Spirit is saying, right now, regardless, and really fast, regardless of when anybody says, like I was saying before, about like, irregardless of what people are saying about the supernova of the heart event, is what Ramona Lappin calls it, or the flash, some people call it, basically the full grounding of 5D and up here. It's happening right now and everybody's experiencing it. It's like, it doesn't matter at this point, you know, what people are saying and what people are believing, because it's already here. But I feel like if you believe certain things, you have a chance to lessen or increase your suffering depending on what you're telling yourself. Like, are you telling yourself in this time that everything's not going to be fine until this date? And it can also be really let down, because you get to that date and then like nothing miraculous happens, as you can see, and like it's like it just makes everything worse. So I feel like Spirit is really encouraging to be all about the now, and to be open for everything to come in for your 9/11, for your divine abundance to come in right now. And speaking of 9/11, here in the United States, it's a very tragic day. That's the day of the Twin Towers plane crash. And the twin flames are very integral to this process, because they represent the union of the divine masculine and feminine energies, which are represented in spirit, and you come together and make it a whole. This is the union of our true selves and all the parts of ourselves that we've discarded, or that we've let be taken from us and that have been stolen from us, the full reclaiming of ourselves. And so you think about 9/11, like that's the day when the Twin Towers were destroyed. And this is the erasing while also remembering that history, but erasing the pain of it and the trauma of it because we no longer need it. And I apologize if this is triggering to anybody. I don't mean to say that, any lives that were lost that day, like, were not important, or that people didn't experience pain and trauma, because that's all true. But I mean it in a more as an example sense, or a metaphorical type of sense of, we no longer need all the pain and suffering. The only thing that wants to hold on to all of these like horrible memories is the ego, because the ego wants to, like, the false ego wants to like keep you in check and keep you in these tiny boxes. And so anytime that you try to do something different or be brave and risk something, it's like, oh, no, remember that this is a possibility. This terrible thing is a possibility. So you can't go, you can't do it. And so it keeps you stuck and trapped, and it's all just a big fat illusion. So that's the message that I'm getting from this now. We have to go past all the pain and past all the trauma, and I really just need to let it go, because the lessons have been learned. I hope they've been learned. And we're on to bigger and better things. Again, this is not to say like don't process your trauma or don't validate yourself. Of course, validate yourself. Of course, process in any way that you feel is best for you. But at the same time, I do feel like Spirit is saying, like, this is a message that I've gotten personally, like, stop taking these things so seriously. And also, you don't need to hold on to these things anymore because they just keep you stuck. Anything else? I think we'll just talk about the fly briefly, and then we'll end the chat. I think I just saw the strength card. Why is this fly here in my room? What is the need of this fly? Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords clarified by the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like this is literally what I just said. The Four of Pentacles is all about holding on to something and being really kind of stubborn about it. And Spirit's asking you to release all of your pain, all of your heartbreak, all your fears, all your worries, all your disappointments in people. Release them all and give it to them. Let it go for reprocessing and healing. Because become the Page of Pentacles. Become the one who now looks at things from a new perspective and is curious about these things and is open to, enjoying something again, rather than being afraid of things hurting you all the time. So you keep your trauma close to your chest. I just felt very annoyed when I said that. Because I just think trauma has just kept us, holding on to these things has kept us so separate from each other. And the things that we are traumatized over are no longer happening, and they only exist within us. We're the only ones that are keeping and feeding them and keeping them alive. And we use them as an excuse to not move on. And like I said, I really hope that if you are triggered and offended by what I'm saying, that you use that to see why are you triggered by me saying that. Okay, the Ace of Swords, the truth is being fully revealed. I've said this message several times, and I feel like with it clarifying this Four of Pentacles card, the truth is being revealed to all of us that it was always just a lie. A lot of our fears and things that we're afraid of have just been lies. I've even heard and I've said this before, I've gotten this message before about our history here on Earth, all of these events and wars and battles. People have establishments have literally lied to their citizens and told them, oh, this happened and this person bombed them, so we need to attack. If you think about the Hunger Games books, where the new woman who wanted to be president instead of President Snow, she bombed their own citizens in order to get the public riled up enough to fight for a cause that she wanted because it would allow her to have more power. And so there's been a lot of lies. I feel like a lot of the things that you've been afraid of, or things repeating or happening again, never even happened to begin with. It's just been fear mongering to control you. 1515 and 1516, and with this Ace of Swords, the truth is being fully revealed. I also got the message yesterday that you no longer, as our dreams are coming true and our wildest dreams are becoming fully available and accessible, and our manifestation abilities are coming in with ease because we are natural manifestors. That's why, what else would we be? Like, what else would we be? We're natural manifestors. We're naturally abundant. And, you know, if you think about how in this life, if you're super talented and stuff, like, people will take that and use it to corrupt and use it to manipulate you. You know, when you think about like artists, singers, or just artists in general, Spirit is saying that there will be no need to have like a tight grip on these fears and precautions, because number one, you have learned all the lessons of all of us, and they will be automatically known within you, so you don't need to worry about forgetting your boundaries or forgetting to respect yourself. It'll just already be natural. And for two, nobody will be able to lie anymore or hide things from, like, any malintent will be very clear. I've seen in my interactions with other people on New Earth, or you know, the higher dimension of Earth, you can, because there, we don't talk with words. I think we just sing if we do any sounds at all. You can see their thoughts. Like, in order to talk to somebody, you see what they're thinking in their consciousness, and that's how you communicate. And so if you're seeing somebody's mind, you can see whether or not immediately they are lying to you. So if anybody was having fears about that, that's debunked. Because you know, there's no deceit, because you can see easily. And also, everybody's so healed, and we all have access to our highest potential. Like, there's no need to lie or to even be jealous or envious, because you already know everybody, we're all one, and so everybody's just you. And so, like, all that stuff that has been holding us back is no longer relevant. I will say that you don't have to just take my word for it. You can ask to go there in a meditative state, and people meditate in a lot of different ways. Sometimes these visions will come to me while I'm awake and I'm not trying to meditate. I could just be in my bed listening to some music, and these visions will happen. You can specifically ask Spirit, ask your higher self, ask your spirit team, whatever you feel comfortable with. Hey, I want to see New Earth. I want to see this higher dimensional place. And maybe it won't happen right then. Maybe it won't happen that night, but it will happen, especially if you're very open to it. And you can always ask for protection if you feel like, you know, you want to make sure your astral self is protected. Ask for protection. Just ask. I ask to be protected by divine source light. It can be as simple as that. I often get a lot of these visions when I am listening to other people's meditations. I remember I did one by S.A. Smith, but that one was taken down from YouTube, so I guess that's no longer relevant. But I would say Ramona Lappin, she has a lot of activations, and they're very powerful. She has a lot of free ones on her YouTube channel, but she also has ones that you can purchase as a separate MP3. And I have gotten a lot of visions listening to those high vibrational light codes being shared. But like I said, you can, if there's somebody else that you trust or somebody that you know, you can listen to their things, or you can make one for yourself. You can just get into like a place of being centered and grounded, and then you just open yourself up to channel light messages and record that on your phone or whatever device you have. And because you're, you know, so, I don't know, channeling, you might not pay attention to it, and then you can lay down and then play it back to yourself later, preferably I would say with headphones or just close to your ears, and then just let yourself naturally be activated in that way to be able to see New Earth for yourself. I would highly recommend it, because the more that you do that, the more that it becomes reality. Because I once heard somebody say it like this: nothing anybody has ever created is like fake. Anything that you dreamed, anything that you've seen in movies, it's impossible for something to not be real. Somebody said something like that, but it's true. Like your dreams, that's real stuff. And the more that we're all connected into this same dream of the new earth, you know, the more quickly that it can be grounded. Okay? I feel like there's something else. Anything else that you would like to say to the people? Knight of Swords and Ten of Cups. So yeah, despite everything that I just said, if it sounded complex and like, I don't know, very step-by-step-y, Spirit is just saying, like, there's no need to worry about anything. Divine Justice is coming in with this Knight of Swords, the Chariot, the little Justice card. Everything is coming in. Ten of Cups is available right now. It's grounding right now. Everything is happening right now. And all you have to do is tap into it, or, you know, you're naturally just, it's happening to you naturally. 2055, you've seen the number 55. The changes are naturally happening to you. So always the best thing that you could do is take care of yourself and seek out whatever you need in every moment. That's it. All right, that's all Queen Sensitivity has for you today. Yeah, like I said, check out my other videos, the one your anger is showing you something, or some whatever I said, and then the messages on messages one is really good, and of course the why are you here one is my favorite at the moment. Lots of beautiful messages in that one. And shout out to all the light workers, all the twin flames, all the people that are taking risks in order to make a better future for our children, for our inner child, and for humanity, for everybody. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye.